Yeah. We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, they alright, but we a little rougher. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show.
Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy BBO. It's your boy AK the Oscar hater, Ring Magazine's most wanted man, D Free. How you doing, man?
Man, y'all tuned into the motherfucking greatest.
Hey, salute to my man MP. Hey, we got a big show today, man. So I gotta ask you one important question, man.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jamel Charlo afraid of Canelo, man? Or what? He looked pretty scared of him, man. I was kind of shocked by that.
Jamel Charlo?
Yeah.
Nah, Jamel Charlo ain't afraid of no Canelo. I don't think Jamel Charlo afraid of anybody. Um,
I know that he been real calm when it come to Canelo. I haven't seen none of his usual yelling, screaming, none of the stuff that I'm used to seeing him do. What you think that comes from, man?
yeah, I mean, that man might be focused in on the fight. He probably ain't worried about all of that, the extraordinaries. I think like when you seeing Jamel being wild, he out here wilding out, he's screaming in the camera. I think that's him trying to sell his fights. I mean, I believe he in there with Canelo. He ain't got to do all that to sell the fight because he already know Canelo's a big name. People gonna come out to watch this fight. So I think he just more focused on getting ready for this fight.
Say this, man. You can't tell this dude been acting like a stone cold nigga everywhere else, but when it come to, he's shaking hands, being cordial. I think Canelo just traded. I'm wondering, man, is this
Your mic went out. I can't hear nothing you saying right now.
but I tell you the most important thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I don't know. I think you kind of lost service a little bit, man.
Can you hear what I'm
You said
saying?
what?
No,
No,
I
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. Yeah. No, I can hear you now. No, I was just saying that. You think that's gonna be a close? What do you think? What kind of fight you think we're gonna get with these two guys?
I think it's gonna be an entertaining fight. I think I think Jamel gonna
Oh,
come
now
out
I
there
can
and
hear
do what
you.
he
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I think Jamel gonna go out there and do what he normally does, and he gonna box Canelo. I think Canelo gonna do what he normally does. He's gonna try to walk him down.
I'm just wondering, man. You think Derrick James is gonna go in there as confident as he usually is after that? That performance Errol Spence gave. I mean, I thought Errol Spence laid an egg his last fight, and a lot of that to me, I kind of contribute to Derrick James. What you think?
I don't think it has nothing to do with Dirk James. Dirk,
How you figure that?
Dirk James can't get in the ring and fight for him. It's all on the fighter. The fighter got to fight. All the trainer can do is just tell him what to do. He can't get in there and fight. He can't go in there and show Earl what he want him to do. I mean, if Earl's not doing what Dirk James is telling him to do, that's not on Dirk James. That's the same thing that happened with Jamel Charlo, the first fight when he fought Brian Castano.
Yeah.
Dirk James told Jamel what to do. Jamel wasn't doing what Dirk James told him to do. That don't make Dirk James look bad. That made Jamel Charlo look bad. It has nothing to do with Dirk James. All he can do is just tell the fighters what to do.
Yeah, at some point, man, you got to hold these guys accountable, man. Derek James is getting a nice slice of the cake. So, I mean, you got to hold him accountable if you're not coming with a good enough game plan. Because I've seen Eddie Futch, have Ken Norton and Joe Frazier ready for fights. I mean, you might not believe me, but I think about those guys. Eddie Futch had those guys ready to fight. Can you think
Do,
of a
do,
fighter that Eddie Futch ever had that wasn't ready to fight? I can't.
do you say the same thing about Eddie Reynoso?
I I think Eddie Reynoso was doing something that makes no sense. And the fact that he got all his fighters doing the same thing. Like, I don't know if you've seen Oscar Valdez came out there in this high guard. We never seen him ever use in his life. Canelo came out in this high guard. I don't know what Eddie's doing. I think Eddie Reynoso kind of is a little overrated. What you think?
I'm saying because last time I checked, Dirk James only as a head trainer, he only got 2 losses.
Yeah.
He only got 2 losses as a head trainer. I mean, so I can't say that man he's a bad trainer or his game plan is not working. That man had 2 losses and 7 belts. So I mean,
Well, let me ask you a more important question than that. So, looking at the landscape of boxing, is it fair to say that Tank Davis is a coward?
no. I'm gonna say Tank Davis is a coward. What has Tank Davis done to make you think that he's a coward?
Just the way he moves. Because one minute, this is what you said on our show plenty of times. You said Tank has his career in his own hands, and
Mm-hmm.
he's not fighting Sugar Shakur. I heard him say, "I'm gonna do a coin flip." I think Calvin Forrest. I'm gonna do a coin flip. Whoever it land on, whether it's Sugar Shakur or it's Devin Haney, and he still
Right.
ain't fought. He ain't fighting either one of them.
That for one that was Coach Kenny, and for two, when they did that, Tank Davis was locked up. For
Mhm.
three, Tank Davis has no say of what Shakur Stevenson is going to do. Like I said before, Bob Earl already said he is not interested in making a fight with Tank Davis. So what would be the point of Tank Davis sending Shakur Stevenson a contract if Bob Earl already said he's not interested in making a fight with Tank?
Well, see, you can't really say that, D Free, because then you want to have it both ways. If Tank is his own boss, he can make that fight, and if he's not
No, he
making those
can't.
tough fights, you got to call him what he is, a coward.
How you figure he can make that fight if the promoter of the other guy that he's trying to fight say he don't want that fight? The fighter's not going to make that fight. The promoter's not going to allow that fighter to make that fight.
I'm gonna tell you something funny, man. When Tank fought Ryan Garcia, Garcia made that fight. Ryan Garcia made that fight. Oscar didn't want that fight.
Oscar didn't want that fight, but Ryan want that fight. We didn't hear Shakur
Make
Stevenson
sure
say
y'all
he wants the
smash the
Tank Davis
like
fight.
button. We'll come in. Don't moonlight. Smash the like button for you, Bill.
We haven't seen Shakur Stevenson jumping through hoops like Ryan Garcia was doing trying to make this fight.
See, that's the thing. Shakur Stevenson, I don't even want to talk about him. These new fighters, man, I'm telling you in general, man, these guys cowards, man, because they're not willing to put it all on the line there to be great. You can say a lot about Devin Haney, but Devin Haney went in there and took a deal that he didn't have to take to get what he wanted. Remember about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he couldn't get a fight, and he took that deal, the supposed bad deal, where he made about $10 million altogether to fight George Kambosos, and he ended up fighting Lomachenko. At the end of the day, man, these guys are not daring to be great. And if you want, and I believe it, if you want to see Tank keep beating up these flat-footed Mexicans and not having no leg, that's okay. But let's say he's great then. Let's pound for pound list, and let's be honest. He's a coward. At the end of the day, Floyd didn't move like that. Pernell didn't move like that. That's the thing I'm
It's funny how you call Tank Davis a coward, but you won't call T.O. a coward. Your connection went out.
I've called Tio a car before. I'll tell you one thing I didn't like. I did not like how the whole thing went down with Devin Haney and Tio. I felt like Tio should have made that fight happen, even though Devin outpriced himself. He still should have made that fight happen because he's going to stop Devin. And it's clear. We know who the
How,
better fighter is.
how
We
did
know who
Devin
fought the
outprice
better.
himself?
Devin wanted $7 million, man.
Devin ain't say he wanted nothing. Devin
Bill
never said
Haney
he wanted.
said that. Bill Haney said that.
They never said they wanted $7 million. They never even sat down to negotiate anything.
They said they wanted. I'm just going off what Tio was saying. What Tio and his father said. They said they wanted $7 million.
T.O. is the only one that ever asked for money. He went to Eddie Hearn and asked Eddie Hearn for $10 million. Devin Haney ain't asked Eddie Hearn for nothing.
This is what I'm saying. You
You
only
going
saying that
you going off a known liar.
you go off with no lie.
T.O.'s father is a known liar. What are you talking about?
I'll give you that. Salute to my brother Juan. He said, "What's going on, D Free BBO?" My brother AB, what's going on with you, man? What's going on, Juan? He said, "Didn't we just go over this Monday?" He said, "It's on Shakur to make the fight." Same thing with Devin. Salute to my brother MP. Oh, but it's the thing I'm saying. This is the thing I'm saying in a nutshell. When we talk about these fighters, man, I don't want to hear Tank Davis's name anymore as being a great fighter. He's very good. He's very good, but he's starting to look more like a Tommy Morrison than he is a Mike Tyson. I'm telling you, he's
You
looking
know,
like a hype job. He's
you
not. He
want
hasn't fought
you
nobody.
calling Tank Davis a hype job. He's not a great fighter, but you won't say the same shit about Canelo.
What do you mean? Canelo done fought everybody.
No, he
As,
didn't.
can I ask you this? Is Canelo not about to fight one of the toughest guys in boxing, Jamel Charlo? Yes or no?
What I know is Canelo chose to pick a guy that was 2 weight classes below him instead of fighting that man that's already in his weight class that's been calling him out for the last 4 years.
He wants a payday. He wants
Did
a
you
payday.
did you hear what I said? So
I heard what you
because
said.
because Canelo wants a payday, it's okay. But if Tank wants a payday, it's not okay.
Here we go. Here we
No, I'm
go.
asking
You
you. I'm
said
asking you.
Canelo
You
want
the
a
one.
payday?
You the one changing the goal. You the one moving the goalpost because he wants a payday, so it's
I
okay.
gotta snatch the chain for that. Man. You talking too crazy. I gotta snatch the chain, man.
You
You're
know,
not
like I
making no
said,
sense right
you
there.
moving the goalpost because now it's Canelo wants to go. He wants a payday, but you just said Tank Davis ain't making a fight with Shakur, even though we know that Bob said he's not
well,
interested in making a
well,
fight
let me
with Shakur with Tank Davis.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. Since you saying that, you talk about me moving the goalposts. Who has a better resume in boxing now than Canelo? Does anybody have more names on their resume than Canelo? Yes or no?
I don't go about names. I don't go about names.
No, I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you. Has Canelo fought in all the big fights? Has Canelo been tested? Yes or no?
Has he been tested? Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters been tested. That doesn't mean that you
No,
moving. That
no.
doesn't
Tank
mean you
ain't been
moving.
tested. Tank ain't been tested, bro. Tank
Did,
ain't
did
been
you
in a
hear me?
close
Did you hear me say
fight.
Tank? Did you hear me say Tank? Did you
I'm
did you
just
did you
saying.
hear did you hear Tank come out my mouth, or did I say a lot of fighters been tested?
So who's been tested? I want to hear a name of some fighters that's been tested. That's still fighting, not retired guys. Guys that's fighting right now.
Deontay
Who's been
Wilder.
tested out here?
Deontay
Who?
Wilder.
Okay. He lost. He failed every test.
He failed what every test?
He failed every test.
What every test? What every test? He only fought. He only one man beat him.
The
What
one
every
man that
test?
beat him 3 times, arguably.
He
He beat him
failed.
three
He
times.
failed every test, but because he lost to one man.
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. If Ali would have never beat Frazier after he lost to Frazier that first time, you wouldn't be talking about Ali the same way. I'm telling you that. I'm
How you
telling
know?
you that.
How you know what I would be talking about Ali?
I'm just giving you an example of how you got to win those big
And I'm
fights, bro.
and I'm saying your example is bad because you don't know how I would be talking about Ali if he wouldn't have beat Frazier.
Hold on, my man. Gimme said, who's the chump in the hat? You talking crazy, bro. He said comparing Canelo and Tank's resume, Tank ain't never fought a top champion, unified, or faced a top guy.
Jimmy, you obviously can't hear. You got selective hearing because I never compared Tank resume to Tank Davis. He asked me about Canelo's resume. I ain't never say nothing about Tank Davis and Canelo at all. So what are you talking about?
No, he did. And the funny thing is, D3 understands Canelo is the best fighter in boxing. He understands that.
No, I do
He
not
just doesn't.
understand that Canelo's the best fighter in boxing. If Canelo was the
Who's
best
better
fighter,
than Canelo?
if Canelo was the best fighter in boxing, wouldn't he be number one pound for pound?
Who? Canelo? He's
If
about to be
Canelo was
if he beat
if he
Charlo.
was if he was the best fighter in boxing, wouldn't he be number one pound for pound?
He's not number one. He's not even on your pound
Okay,
for
then so
pound
he's
list.
not the best fighter in boxing.
Hold on 1 second. My man Gimme said water been tested, but Canelo got a questionable resume. Hey, I'm telling you, man, people catching on to you, man. The stuff you're saying is crazy, bro.
You got one person out of how many people that watch our channel that agrees with you? You got one person that don't know nothing about boxing
Lorraine, though,
that agrees with you.
About that, though. Why you gotta say that, man?
You don't know shit about boxing.
Exactly. He don't know shit about boxing. Like I said, you got one person. How many people that watch us that agrees with you?
Agree with me in boxing are non-biased people. You know, I'm non-biased. You know, I don't have a favorite fighter. I don't have a horse in the game. Between that you root for in the game, I have none. You think I'll say something?
First of all, Yimmy, once again, you can't hear nothing because nobody said Bud or anyway has a better resume. He said that Canelo is the best fighter in boxing. I said if Canelo was the best fighter in boxing, he would be number one pound for pound. I didn't say nothing about anyway or Bud resume. What are you talking about? Can you hear? Nobody said nothing about Bud resume or anyway. I didn't even bring anyway up at all. I don't think nobody on this daggone show said anyway.
No, nobody said anyway. Salute to my brother Queso boy. Hey, he said Canelo a known cheater, so he doesn't matter what the F what is. See, that's what I'm saying. Let's not forget that Canelo beat Austin Trout. Canelo beat Danny Jacobs. Canelo beat Triple G. Canelo beat Sergey Kovalev. Canelo also beat Sugar Shane Mosley. I mean, let me keep naming Miguel Cotto. We just keep naming all these Hall of Fame type guys that Canelo didn't beat and beat to death. I mean, I don't know what you expect. Tell me this, D3. How come Canelo and Errol are the same age and Errol doesn't have half the resume that Canelo does? It's because at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are cowards, man. Just like I was saying with Tank Davis.
So now Earl a coward. Now
I didn't
Earl a
say
coward.
Earl was.
No,
I didn't say Earl was.
you said Earl and Canelo.
No,
You said because these guys are cowards.
No.
You said because these guys are cowards. So now
I
Earl
like
a
how
coward.
you did that. You see,
You did it.
see
I
how
didn't
you
do
did
that.
that.
You brought
You
up
see how
Earl
you
and
did
Canelo,
that.
and then you say cowards.
What the fuck you say?
You said that. I didn't compare Canelo or Earl at all. You did that.
But this is what I'm saying. How come Canelo and Earl are the same age and Canelo got a way better resume? Tell me.
And what you say after that? Is because these
I
guys are
said a lot of
cowards.
guys are cowards. A
You
lot
ain't
of
saying a
guys
lot
are
of guys.
cowards.
You said because these guys are cowards. You want to try to clean it up now.
Hey, but speaking about my brother D3, I want to send a big shout out to one of my favorite musicians of all time, Chuck Brown. His birthday just passed.
Yes, it did.
Chuck Brown, he don't get enough credit for what he's done, man. He has been in something that is jazz on that. I want to Cave Bond, he's on his way out. Kovalev was not on.
Just yours. You talking about the same Kovalev that only had 2 weeks to train for that fight.
Oh my God. He just beat that guy, Anthony Yard. He had just beat Anthony Yard. What are we talking about?
And Canelo fought him on a 2 weeks notice.
And Canelo gave him his highest payday of $12 million too.
I didn't ask nothing about no money. I didn't say nothing about money.
I thought you said he was on his way out.
I said Canelo fought him on a 2 weeks notice. I said you talking about the same Kovalev that Canelo fought on the 2 weeks notice is what I said. I didn't say nothing about him on the way out. I didn't say nothing about no money. Somebody in the chat said he was on his way out. I didn't say that.
Well, my mistake. He said, "Dude is defending Tank and Wilder, but want to question Canelo." I don't understand. You know what's so funny? I don't understand why D Free does that. He knows who Canelo is.
I don't understand how y'all say Canelo can move like this, but when somebody else move like Canelo, it's a problem with them.
Who moves like that?
I said I don't understand when Canelo moves the way he does, and then somebody else moves the same way Canelo moves. It's a problem with him.
I get what you're saying. That could be something. Hold on one second. He said, "Dude is getting his emotions. Tank and Wilder are proven, but Canelo a cherry picker."
He is. I mean,
he said, "BBO keep schooling is casual." Salute to my brother.
Did Canelo fight Danny Jacobs when Danny Jacobs called Canelo out?
Didn't he fight Danny Jacobs after Danny Jacobs had just fought Triple G?
Exactly. He didn't fight Danny Jacobs when Danny Jacobs called him out. He said, "I'm not fighting him." And then when he saw Triple G beat up Danny Jacobs, then he said, "I want that fight with Danny Jacobs."
And so you trying to tell me that Danny Jacobs didn't look good in that fight? Seriously? Are we saying that?
I didn't say nothing about how Danny Jacobs looked. I said the reason why Canelo took the fight.
Okay. So to my man,
Canelo is an opportunist.
Oh,
I don't understand how y'all don't see that. You named all these great fighters: Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Triple G, which I wasn't really big on Triple G anyway. Period. But you name all these legendary fighters or these Hall of Fame fighters, I should say, but you fail to realize, when did Canelo fight him?
Hey, it's funny.
When did he fight him? When did he fight him?
Listen, I'm gonna just say this. He said it was 3
Answer
months.
the question. When did he fight him? When did Canelo fight him?
He fought him off their best performances. That's what Canelo does.
Oh.
When you look great.
So he fought Shane Mosley when Shane Mosley was at 135 pounds.
No, he didn't fight him then.
Okay, so when you talking about
didn't Shane Mosley fight Oscar twice?
What you talking about his best performance? You say you fought him after their best performance. What best performance Shane Mosley had when he fought Canelo?
I think we froze. I think my brother D Free froze. He said it was 3 months, but okay. Hold on one second. He said 2 weeks notice. When dudes start capping, what happened?
I'm laughing at you. You sitting there talking about he fought him after his best performance. I'm trying to figure out what best performance Shane Mosley had.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get this. What he said. 2 weeks notice when dudes just capping, but wearing a goofy hat. He said, "Yimmy's a clown." No, he didn't. He said, "What Hall of Famers and the league champions has Tank and Wilder defeated? Canelo did that ish multiple times." That's a fact. Salute to my brother Low Blow, which is pause. That name is crazy. What's Kovalev's best performance? Kovalev had just beat Anthony Yard, a young hungry lion. The same Anthony Yard that looked pretty decent versus Baturgia.
Was that Kovalev's best performance?
No, that wasn't his best performance.
Okay, so that negates your point. One of your people that you talk about. Okay, the fight with Sugar Shane Mosley. That was after he had just fought. Who was that? The Sugar Shane had just fought.
Was that Winky he had just fought?
I can't remember exactly who that was. But was that Sugar Shane best performance?
I'll just say this: he went in there and beat Sugar Shane Mosley, who was an absolute dynamo. This dude almost stopped Floyd Mayweather, man. He almost stopped Floyd Mayweather.
So did Zab Judah.
Hey, okay.
So did Zab Judah.
Well, you talking about Jab? You talking about Super Judah, who was a former undisputed champion at welterweight? I don't know if you know about that.
Who?
Super Judah, Super Judah, undisputed former undisputed champion at welterweight.
What that got to do with it? I say he almost stopped Floyd too.
But this is what I'm saying. He said, "Why y'all riding with a known cheater?" Hey, Case Avoid, man. I don't know where you getting this known cheater stuff from. The dude had a weight supplement,
No,
and
was
WC,
was it was it on the banned substance?
the WC actually added
Was
more
it
of that same weight supplement.
was it on the banned substance?
It might have been on the banned supplements, but I'm just
Oh,
trying
so
to
then that
tell you.
means he cheated.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, man. When it comes to it, man, they actually had to increase the clenbuterol
But
because
you
they were
but
being unfair.
you defending Canelo for taking something that was on the banned substance. I mean on the bad on the banned
No, that was
list.
just a mistake. I'm not. I'm
No,
not.
you defending them. You said you
Fuck Fred, fuck Howard, and fuck all of them.
What about Robin?
you defending them, but you want to beat up Alicia Bungard and you want to beat up all these other guys. But you defending Canelo for taking something that was on the banned substance, and he was suspended for it.
Wake up, nigga. We gotta get this money.
Thing is this, man. You basically you're not
Fuck
making no
Fred,
sense on
fuck
that. But I
Howard, and
let it.
fuck all of them.
What about Robin? She's hot, right?
Robin,
Yeah.
who cares about that bitch?
What about Benji?
Oh God, Triple G was never number one pound for pound. Stop
He
smoking
said.
shit.
He said plus suspension for 6 months. Triple G was number one pound for pound unified.
That-
Undefeated, a
let
big
me know. Let
favorite.
me know. Let me. When was Triple G? When was Triple G number one pound for pound?
I don't think he was number one, but he was
I
definitely
know he
top five.
wasn't. I
He
know
was
he was
top
never
five.
number one.
He was
Yeah,
top five.
he might have been top five, but I know damn
Top
well he
five.
wasn't number one. That's how you know this guy that you're agreeing with, and that's agreeing with you, don't know shit about boxing.
Hey, you can't say that, man, because I'm from Ohio, man, and you know how we
Hey, you
do it,
guys,
man.
What I'd say is this, murder. It's us Ohio boys. You know how we get, you know how us Ohio niggas get out, nigga? Ohio nigga, double O. What's up, yo? Columbus, Akron, Cleveland, Springfield, Dayton, Youngstown. What's up, y'all? Cincinnati, too. I forget about you. You know I love y'all niggas.
this nigga said Tank Davis' best win was against Ryan Garcia. That was not Tank Davis' best win.
Who was his
That was
best win then?
his best
Who was
win.
his best win
His
was?
best win was when he fought Pedraga. That was his best win.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
No, it's
is.
not.
That
No,
that
it's not.
that was that. I'm gonna tell you two reasons why that was his best win. For one, that's the first time that Tank Davis was ever a underdog in any fight. He was the underdog.
Right.
Nobody expected Tank Davis to win that fight. And for two, that was the first time that he went for a championship and he knocked the guy out that everybody said Tank Davis was scared to fight a slick style fighter.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and I hear you. He said Laura was the boogeyman at 154. Charlo, Andre, Duck, Lord, Kovalev was a top champion at 175 and a dangerous puncher. And that's a fact because
No,
Laura
no,
couldn't get a fight.
I can't listen to shit that he's saying because he said Triple G was number one pound for pound. Once you lie,
Laura,
I
but
cannot
Laura,
listen to shit you say. I
but
don't believe
Laura,
nothing you say once you
he
lie.
was top
You lie one
D3, he
time,
was
I
top
don't believe nothing you say.
D3, he was top five, man. He was
No,
top five.
I don't believe nothing you say when you lie to me. I don't
You
believe
see
nothing you
that
say.
right there shows me Yimmy and BBL don't take boxing serious. Case of boy, man. Let me ask you a question, man. Before you come step to the throne, I do this more than you, man. You cannot talk about boxing when it comes to me because I go all the way back to John L. Sullivan, man, Willie Pep. You know, the list goes on, man. Oscar De La Hoya, Sweet Pea Whitaker, man. I go back in this boxing, man. This is something I really do, man. I know you just do this for fun. He said Tank's best win is an IG model with Ryan, who's semi-retired and on some Judah guy. Oh, some Judah. What is it? Judo guy and Rolly. He said Triple G. He said Triple G ducks. When Ring Magazine gave him the pound for pound belt, he was pound for pound. He was the lineal champion at middleweight. He said my receipts, clown.
And nobody
Pause.
said nothing about he wasn't on the pound for pound. Nobody said he didn't have a linear belt. Your dumb ass that don't know shit about boxing said he was number 1 pound for pound.
I just say this, man. I'll just say this. When you're talking about Canelo, man, he don't get enough credit, man. He really don't. He really don't, man. Can you tell? I can't think of another fighter that get less credit. You know what Canelo is like, man. If you think about it, Canelo is a lot like a guy, Mr. Gary Jr., who a talented guy get no credit or accolades for what he's done. I mean, when I'm Mr. Gary Russell Jr., because that's the guy who got a lot of talent and just really get his just due. And I'm gonna give him Pedraza. He's a known punching bag there. He's free. He said Pedraza was robbed. And here he stopped this BS.
BBO.
Man, it
BBO. Yeah, I can hear you. Your mic going in and out, but I can hear you now.
Okay. It's kind of
When
raining
Tank,
bad over on that.
yeah, when Tank Davis fought Pedraza, what was his record?
But Pedraza was undefeated, I believe.
Was Pedraza or was he not the IBF champion at the time?
He was the IBF champion. I think that was on that. Was that on the McGregor card?
Yeah, I believe it
Yeah,
was I believe it was the Conor McGregor card. I believe it was.
yeah.
But so when was Pedraza a punching bag?
A little bit after he fought Tank, he became a punching bag. After he
Okay.
fought Tank.
Okay. So it wasn't before
After.
he fought Tank. It wasn't before he fought
No,
Tank.
no. Before he was a solid fighter. Before then, he was a solid fighter.
Once again,
Um,
like I proven once again, I can't listen to shit that nigga say because he don't know nothing about boxing.
what do you say? What do you say? Ryan ain't ish. Never gonna be ish. A Tic Tac star. I just told you my receipts. Thank me for educating you. What do you say? I don't. Case of boy, who do you rock with, bro? All you do is pick the same old fighters, man. You don't pick guys that you like. You pick guys that other people like. And I'm trying to tell you, when it comes to people like Canelo Alvarez, you gotta appreciate why you got him, man. When the last time you seen a fighter of his caliber, man, still challenging himself? He's fighting Jamel Charlo, in my opinion, the #1 fighter in the world. That's who he's about to fight, Jamel Charlo. Former undisputed champion, former unified champion. I mean, and we can just look at the list that Jamel Charlo fought. So if he can beat Jamel Charlo, which I don't got him picked winning that, I got Jamel winning that. Canelo really go down as one of the best ever. Salute to my brother, Dr. Mark. He says,
Best ever what?
huh?
He goes down as one of the best ever what?
One of the best ever boxers. Like one of the best boxers that ever touched the ring.
If he beat Jamil.
If he beat Jamel, yes.
That's what you're saying. If he beat Jamil.
I think highly of Jamel. I don't know about you. I think highly of Jamel.
I think highly of Jamil too.
I think
But
Jamel. I think Jamel special.
I know Jamil is a 154-pound fighter. He's been at
Oh
100.
no, he's not. You see how big he is. Pause. You see how big he is, man.
What weight class have Jamil fought at?
He fought at 154.
And what other weight class has he fought at?
Can I ask you a question? Did we not see Roy Jones Jr.?
Answer the question. What other weight class has he fought at? Nigga, BBO camera gone out. You back? No, your mic is down. What's going on, Dr. Mott? Nah, I can't hear nothing you saying right now. Can y'all hear BBO? No, I can't. I still can't hear you. No, can't nobody hear you, BBO.
Yeah. No.
Here,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
try to come
Let me
back.
just. Damn, you just heard him. I think BBO in the bad area.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, it's raining pretty bad where I'm at. But what I was saying is, hold on, we missed a couple of these. What I'm saying in general is that you really can't compare a lot of these guys to Canelo because Canelo done put it all on the line and decided to do what he's supposed to do to become great. Uh, he said BBO lowered the quality of his show by bringing in casuals. This is the goofball. He said, "Facts, Jimmy. Pedraza's a C-class fighter. He literally a tune-up in all the big fights. He was coming off a robbery win over a bum and Edgar Cherry. Pushed the underdogs BS somewhere else." That brother said, oh, he just sent us some salutes out. He said, BBO, I was in Las Vegas in 1988 at the fight with Baroto Duran versus Ricky Stackhouse. All I'm saying is this, bro. When Roberto Duran, he said Canelo fought 10 active, reigning world champions over the last 5 years. That inks his Hall of Famers, pound for pound guys across 3 divisions and unifications. Who else done that? Dude, this dude going crazy. But it's what I say, man. When you talking about these fighters, man, you got to give Canelo his credit, man. He one of the best ever, man. I don't know how you can't see that. And I'm telling you, man, Tank Davis got to fight somebody. It's the same thing with Sugar Shakur. They got to fight
So
somebody.
let me ask you because you say he's one of the best ever, one of the best ever. Um,
Hmm.
for you said as a boxer.
As
So
a
when you
boxer,
as a boxer, he's one of the best ever. So where would you rank him all time as a boxer?
probably top 30. Probably top 30 easily. I would say top 30.
Okay, okay.
Well, that's too high.
No, no, that's about right where he's supposed to be at, right there, right around top 30.
It's a lot of guys, man, that have fought in boxing,
I'm
man.
just saying, you saying he the best ever. Like you got him like number. You put it right here. Like you got him number 10 best ever fighter.
No, I say he's one of the
got,
best.
I'm just saying. You saying it like he's top 10. But when you say he's top 30, okay, yeah, he's about top 30. I'll give him that. He's about top 30. I'll give him
I
that.
mean, I know you want to cut him down, but the
No,
brother can
I was. It's the way you talking like he's one of the best ever. You say he's one of the best ever. Usually when somebody say they're one of the best ever, they in the top 10, somewhere in the top 10. when they usually say one of the best ever. They're usually in the top 10, not top 30.
D Free, I'm sure hundreds of thousands of people didn't fall. He's one of the best 30 boxers to ever live.
I'm not doubting that at all. I said I agree with you, but I'm just saying usually when people say one of the best ever, they talking about the top 10. That's what I'm saying. They're usually talking about the top 10. They're not talking about the top 30. Is what I'm saying. And like I said, I agree exactly what you said. Yeah, he's right around the top 30. I agree exactly what you say.
I say this though. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
But back to what I was saying, man. Being one of the top 30 fighters to ever fight, that's a big deal, D Free.
Yeah, it is. I said I agree with you. I'm not knocking what you said. I said I agree with you. I said, but usually when somebody say one of the best ever, they talk about the top 10. They're not talking about the top 30. So I agree with you that he's one of the top 30. Yeah, I agree with that. I give him that.
He said when God yelled Canelo in response to the Finn tank and water, I knew he preferred
No, no,
emotions over facts.
no, nobody's talking about Wilder. We started this
He
conversation
said,
talking about Tank Davis. Ain't nobody talking about no damn Wilder.
what he said, Yemi is a Mexican. He said, I broke his spirit. Hey, case of boy, being top 30 is very high. I don't know.
No, I'm not. That is high. Out of hundreds of thousands of fighters that fought in the sport of boxing, yeah, that is high. And like I said, I'm not doubting that he's the top 30. I agree with you.
I'm gonna tell you
He probably
this.
is top 30.
Errol Spence ain't as high as that.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't know.
how high is he to you?
All time?
Yeah.
No, I probably don't have. I would literally have to go back and look because Earl Spence only fought at one weight class. So I would literally have to go back and look at all of the welterweights that fought.
Hey, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying more in general, man. When we talking about this boxing, man, but we got to be fair to the fact that it. And you know what's so funny? This is the thing that we missing. What you think about this whole Ugas versus Mario Barrios fight? Think that's gonna be a good
Um,
fight?
I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I'm kind of edging towards Mario Barrio because Ugas took such a beating from Earl Spence. I don't know because Mario Barrio fought Tank Davis. He got knocked out. Oh, he got stopped, I should say. He didn't get knocked out cold. He got stopped. He got dropped, like 3 times in that fight. He got stopped. But then he went and fought Keith Thurman. And he did pretty well against Keith Thurman. That's the first fight at 147 pounds, and you in there with Keith Thurman. Although Keith Thurman was coming off a 2-year layoff, 2.5-year layoff, and he actually hurt Keith Thurman at one point in that fight. So he did okay, but I just don't know how Ugas is going to look coming back in the ring. Now they both coming off over a year layoff because Mario Barrio fought Keith Thurman in like February of last year, and Ugas fought Earl April of last year. So they both coming off over a year layoff. So I'm kind of edging towards Mario Barrio, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ugas pull it out. Because I think Ugas is a better boxer than Mario Barrio, and he's more acclimated at that weight class. But I saw the beating that he took from Earl, so that's why I'm kind of edging towards Mario Barrio.
That's a good point. He said let BBO talk. He said BBO, I agree. I will put Canelo top 30 also. He said Canelo top 25, top 30 right now, and might finish the top 15 depending on how things in. I'll put it like this: if he beats Jamel, I know he'll probably stop David, and then probably beat if he could get a fight with maybe a Bibble rematch. I would put him top 20. No matter what, he'll never be top 15. Only reason I say he won't be top 15 because he never made up for that Floyd loss, and he never really tried to make up for that Laura fight. Those are the two fights I really hold against Canelo. The fact is, Laura, that pretty much was a draw. You could really say that was a draw, and I think Canelo really should have ran that right back. I don't know why he didn't run that right back. What you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I can see some people having it a draw. I see some people have it Laura one because some people, like I said, I know a lot of people that went back and watched that fight multiple times. At one time they'll say Canelo won, another time they will say Laura won. So I can see it going either way. But yeah, I really believe that that was another tough fight for Canelo. He just had coming off the loss with Floyd. I don't think he wanted to get back in there because he didn't want to take another loss that early. Well, it's not early in his career, but he didn't want to take another loss so close behind the loss that he took with Floyd.
Well, he say, how Barrios, hold on, he said, how Barrios keep getting these big pay-per-views, dude gonna end up a vegetable soon. Mario Barrios have been fighting some tough fights. I mean, how you think?
I don't think Mario Barrio and Ugas is on pay per view. I don't think that's on pay per view.
No, it's on pay-per-view. It's on a Jamil versus Charlo
Oh, it's on
card.
the undercard. It's on the undercard.
Yeah.
They're not the main event. Okay.
Yeah, but you got to pay to see him.
Yeah.
He said Thurman versus Ugas.
Ain't nobody paying to see him. They're paying to see Canelo and Jamil. They ain't paying to see them.
But you know what I mean. I'm just saying you gotta pay to see that fight. He
Right.
said Thurman versus Ugas should have been the fight to be made. Disappointing. I agree with that. I would have loved to have seen Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman to me, I think he might be one of the guys that could probably beat Terrence Crawford.
Ugas is not a big enough payday for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is only looking for a payday. He's not looking for nobody like a Ugas. He took the Mario Barrio fight because that was a tune-up from him coming back. But Ugas is not a big enough payday for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman only wants to fight people like Earl Spence and Bud. That's all he wants to fight. He's not even trying to fight. He's not even trying to fight Boots. And I think Boots is a bigger payday than Ugas is, but he's not even trying to fight Boots. I think he only wants a pay. At this point in time in Keith Thurman's career, he's looking to cash out. He's looking to get the biggest. If he's going to fight, he's looking to get the biggest payday that he can get. He's not taking none of those low level fights or none of that. He's just trying to get the biggest payday he can get.
He said, how much will winning a cruiserweight title help Canelo's legacy? What you think, D Free?
I don't think Canelo will ever go to cruiserweight.
Well, he called out Badu Jack, and Badu Jack was scared or something. He said he couldn't come down and meet him at a catchweight. So
yeah, that's a catchweight. That's not cruiserweight. So I don't think he would ever fight at cruiserweight.
He said Canelo won 8-4 versus Lar. I think it was a little closer than that. But he said, Case the Boy said, but for Canelo, he would always have that cheater next to his name in the record books. Well, guess what? So does Roy Jones Jr., so does Evander Holyfield. It's a lot of guys that cheated, man. He said Bud versus Thurman in December. That's a solid pay-per-view if they put that together, a decent undercard. I would love to see Bud versus Thurman. How do you think that would play out, D Free?
Who?
Thurman versus Bud.
I think Thurman gets stopped. I think he gets stopped. I think it's gonna. I don't know, because I think Thurman is going to try to box Bud, but I think Bud is he's gonna catch him to the body. We all know that Keith Thurman is weak to the body. Keith Thurman, he don't like body shots at all, and I think Bud is gonna, at some point in that fight, Bud is gonna catch him to the body, and Keith Thurman is not gonna be able to run, and he's gonna get stopped.
I mean, that being said, man, I want to ask you something a little different. I want to ask you about two young trainers, man, Malik Scott and Gary Russell. How you think those guys are going to be long term as trainers?
I don't. Who else is Malik Scott training right now?
Gerald Washington.
Yeah. I don't know about Malik Scott, because really all he really has is Deontay Wilder. Jared Washington, he's on his way out. Deontay Wilder, I mean, he's pretty much on his way out as well. So I don't know about Malik Scott. I think Gary, he definitely has the knowledge and the smarts to be a good trainer. He's already been training his brothers, so It's just a matter of if he want to take that position full time and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and hang it up, and I'm just going to be a trainer. Um, he has to make that decision because if you're going to be a trainer, you gotta be 100% in it. You can't be trying to be a fighter and be a trainer at the same time because somebody's going to come up on the short end. Whether it's going to be your career going to come up on the short end or the person that you're training going to come up on the short end. So you got to be 100% committed to whichever one you're going to do.
That's a good point. I just think when you think of Malik Scott, I think Malik Scott, I will say this. The Jared Washington looked a lot better versus the sword than I had ever seen him look in a while. And remember, he had already knocked out Robert Helenius. So I know a lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Washington was one of the first people to knock out Robert Helenius. So I
Yeah,
mean,
he was the first.
yeah, so he's a pretty sturdy fighter. He's just been getting beat to death so much people forget. But I think Bud Thurman would be a good fight, but I really don't think Bud can make 147 comfortably. And I think at this point, when it comes to Bud Crawford and Terrence Crawford, they're pretty much out of those divisions for good. They're just too big for those divisions, Paul. It's over with. I definitely said I definitely said pause, man. He rough, man.
Oh well, yeah, I don't see Bud coming back down to 47. I mean, he really. I mean, the only person I think the only person he has left to. I mean, the only person he can fight at 47 right now is Boots. Boots is the mandatory. It's either going to be Boots or it's going to be Stanley. So I don't think, and I don't think he's going to fight Boots, and I don't think he's going to fight Stanley. So I don't see Bud fighting at 47 anymore. I think because he even said it after the fight when they said Earl Spence said he wanted a rematch and he wanted at 54. He was like, we can have it at 54 because it's hard for me to make 47 as well. So I don't think Bud is coming back down to 47.
He said Bud versus Tim Zoo at 154 for WBO belt or Thurman at 147. Don't want to see Earl being a human pinata again. I agree with that because Earl has no business ever fighting a guy like Bud Crawford again. He said that's why wearing, or he said, watch dude wearing a hat indoors. He's hiding his head, trying to be cool. This dude's a goofball.
Dummy, I don't have a hairline. I'm bald. Stupid. And this is my house that I bought. I can wear whatever I want to wear indoors. Something that you probably don't know nothing about buying a house.
That boy D3, that boy D3 rough, yo. Yo, that brother rough, man. That brother rough, man.
Wake up, nigga. We gotta get this money.
It's money, nigga.
Hey, what he said Bud Crawford and Terrence Crawford, BBO, you a fool. Oh, did I say Bud Crawford, Terrence Crawford? No, but what I mean is, I think I'll just say this, man. We're not gonna get the Boots versus Terrence Crawford fight. At the end of the day, that's the end of that road is ship. That ship is already sailed on. He said Bud caught out Canelo at 168. How big is that fight? What you think?
Um, it actually what I would tell you is if Canelo fights Bud at 168, that's a bigger fight than Canelo fighting David Benavidez.
I would agree with that.
That's a bigger fight. And now I I understand what Canelo means when he said if he fights him, he won't get no credit because I believe if he does fight if he does fight Bud and he beats Bud, I do believe there's going to be people out there that's not going to give him no credit.
You don't think so? Beating a pound for pound king?
I'm not saying he won't get my credit. I said I do believe there's going to be people out there that won't give him no credit. It's always going to be somebody that's not going to give you credit because they're going to say, okay, you just fought a man that moved up 2 weight classes. Now you're fighting another man that moved up 3 weight classes.
Yeah, I think it's 12 pounds. That's a lot of weight to come up.
Yeah.
He said buying a house is cool, but fixing the bed would be cool. This is a truthful. Hey, but let me ask you this though. more importantly, said, man, are you going? When are you gonna start holding take accountable for not taking a big fight? Because from what I'm hearing, it's gonna be Esau Cruz next. What you think about that?
You said when would I going to be accountable for what?
I said, when are you gonna hold Tank accountable for not taking the big fights?
I told you when I see what Tank next fight is, it's going to be on Tank. Whether it's a fight that we want or it's a fight that we don't want, it's going to be on Tank. He's going to get either he's going to get praised for the fight that he made, or he's going to get criticized for the fight that he made. So I
Well,
told you, I already told you.
let me ask you this: how do you see that fight playing out? A Tank versus Shakur. How do you see that fight playing out?
I think at some point Tank is going to touch the core and he's going to stop him.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm just wondering, because Shakur is so elusive, could Tank even touch him? That's the one question I had.
I think he can.
Because I don't know if Tank. Go ahead.
I think he can, because just like you always say, Shakur fought a bunch of guys that was over 30.
He did.
According to you, he fought a bunch of guys that was over 30.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And we saw, we heard what Shakur said when he fought Oscar Valdez. He said he hit me to the body and I wanted to throw up. Oscar Valdez is no Tank Davis.
Yeah,
No,
you know, Tank
no
is one of
Tank
the rare guys who can hit you and you're gonna take a shower, man.
And Tank Davis is the type of fighter that he don't throw a lot of punches, but the punches that he do throw, he lands.
Yeah, and he looking to hurt you. He said, Yummy sounds like a kid that can't grow a beard. Hey, you know it's funny case of boy. Why don't you worry about Derek Carr not throwing an interception this year? How about that, man? Leave the box and talk. Leave the box and talk to the big dog. You out of your place. You out of your league.
Case of boy about to get on you about your Browns.
Hey, he can't get on me about the Browns because he got Derek Carr. Hey, but all that aside, I'm wondering, man, is the heavyweight division in the worst shape you've ever seen it in?
I don't know. It's going to depend on what AJ and Wilder do, and I mean what they do after their fight, and it's going to depend on what Usyk does after his fight. I mean, me personally, I don't even think that Tyson Fury is even thinking. I think Tyson Fury is really hoping for Dubois to beat Usyk, and then he's gonna jump at fighting Dubois for undisputed, because Usyk said Tyson Fury said he wanted 70%. Usyk said, "Fine, you can have it." And then Tyson Fury said, "You know what? I'm gonna go fight Francis Ngannou." So I don't think he want to fight Usyk because, like I told you, I don't think he's scared of Usyk. I think that Usyk possesses a boxing style that he just don't want to deal with. I think that Tyson Fury can beat Usyk, but I just think he don't. He's at the point of his career where he's not trying to work hard for the money that he's getting.
He said, Tank has never fought the number one guy in any division. He's been and unified and held a real belt in 5 years. Lost few fights, been cherry picks, Ryan, Rowley, and Cruz. Come on. He said, BVO, you the man also. And he said the heavyweights is trash. I'll just say this, man. I've never seen the glamour divisions like the heavyweight division and the middleweight division be so like desolate, man. I'm gonna ask you this: what you think about Beck versus what was it, Alberto? I can't think of the guy's name for the WBC. You know, I'm talking about the Dominican guy.
You said who? What weight class is it?
Middleweight. Beck versus that.
Jennebeck. I think Jennebeck. I mean, the guy he's fighting, he's an okay fighter. But I think this is just another showcase fight for Jennebeck.
No, I'm saying Beck said he want to fight that guy Alberto, the interim WBC champion at 160.
That's what I said. I think he's an okay fighter, but I think it's just another showcase fighter for Jennebeck.
You see how he beat up Julian J. Rock Williams? That was
Carlos Adonis. Carlos Adonis.
Carlos Adonis, yeah.
I think he's an okay fighter, but I think he's getting a lot of praise for the fights that he had. He might turn out and be a good fighter. I'm just not too high on him. I'm not too high. I know he got power, but I'm not too high on him.
I'm shocked, man, because I don't know what he can do. I'll be honest. But I like what I'm seeing, man. He really aggressive, and he look like he want to fight. He's a fighting champion.
I mean, as I said, I'm just not too high on him. I think he's okay. He's an okay fighter. I think Janabek is choosing to fight him for a reason. Because remember, Janabek he was ducking a few guys as well, but he's choosing to fight him for a reason. So I think he's an okay fighter. I'm just not high on him.
That's a good point. I'll say this about Janabek. I'm surprised that he even talking about a fight like this. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I know. King Bossiologist. Yeah, I know he got a unification coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is good for boxing, man. To see these young lions, man, really trying to get in here and mix it up with each other. That only
I know. All these guys at 135 better make up their mind what they're going to do because that young lion down there is coming up. That man, this like his sixth fight this weekend in this year alone. I think he had like 6 fights this year. Boy, Abdullah Mason is not a joke. Uh, Jimmy, nobody's thinking nothing about you. Trust to believe that nobody's thinking nothing about you. I don't know what's going on with BBO. He must be in a bad location. But yeah. I mean, we got a full weekend of boxing this weekend coming up. ESPN got 2 fight cards, one on ESPN, the early fights, and then they got the late fights on ESPN Plus, and then the Zone they got a fight card as well. I think ESPN got the better fight card. The Zone they got I think maybe one fight that I want to see, but other than that, they don't really have nobody on the Zone that I'm really caring to watch. But ESPN, they got the young guys. We got K Savoy favorite fighter, Nico Ali Wash fighting this weekend. We got Big Baby fighting this weekend. We got Abdullah Mason. We got Shushu fighting. So and then of course we got the Usyk versus dang, what the fuck? I just lost his name. Dang, my mind just went blank just that quick. But we got the Usyk fight, David Dubois. Yeah, we got Usyk versus Dubois, and I think Usyk. Oh yeah, and we got Fa Ajaba. Yeah, Fa Ajaba as well. Yeah, so I think Fa Ajaba is gonna. I think this is gonna be a good fight. Um, I know we got the rematch for the Zhang versus Joe Joyce coming up. I think in a couple of weeks. I think it's a couple of weeks. Joe Joyce and Zhang rematch. I think Zhang is going to beat Joe Joyce once again. Joe Joyce is just too slow of a fighter. His punches are too telegraphed, and Zhang is just too much for Joe Joyce.
Hold on. Sorry about that, man. I had a little issue. I just dropped. He said, I want to apologize to your co-host. I took it too far. He's stuttering and on the verge of tears. My bad, little homie.
I said, ain't nobody thinking about that dude.
Oh, one thing I do want to say. I want to shout out to my brother A1, my TWT brother. We did hear the news, man. His parents are cousins. But I just want to send some love to him anyway, man.
I'm trying to tell you, you keep barking up A1's tree. A1, I'm trying to tell you, A1 gonna be going non-stop. Your whole chat gonna be full of nothing but crack and jokes from A1.
All I know is this. A1's the first guy I ever met with Down syndrome. that's trying to go back and forth with me. So I want to give him credit for that. The brother has Down syndrome, and he's trying to go back and forth with me. My bad, excuse me. Asperger's, my mistake. He said, Jenny Beck, not all that. I don't think he is either. But Jenny Beck, that's a big fight. He said, I think fans are writing off Anderson too soon off. Hold on one second. Oh, salute to my brother Just Do. Salute to my
What's
brother
going on? What's
DP.
going on, Just Do? What's going on, DP Rocker?
Hey, you know the funny thing about it, man? When we talk about my brother A1, man, this is a brother, man, who was wearing Jabot jeans with a Pelly Pelly shirt on, driving trucks, man. So, hey, anytime you see a brother with Jabot jeans on, man, you ain't got nothing to worry
That,
about.
do you believe that Bud is going to go to 168 and fight Canelo?
No, no.
I don't believe it neither. I mean, if he do it, he do it. I don't believe it because he asked for a catch weight at 58, and he said that was pushing it because he said he wasn't going to go past 154 pounds, but he said he'll fight Canelo at a catch weight of 158, but he was like that was pushing it. But then he turned around and said he'll fight him at 168. I don't think he gonna fight Canelo at no 168 now. I mean, you never know with Bud because Bud is the guy that'll say one thing over and over again, and then he'll turn around and do the opposite. So you never know with Bud. I just don't believe that he's going to go to 168. I don't. Even if he go to 168, I believe he has all the tools to beat Canelo. I just think the weight is going to be too much for Bud at 168 pounds. You're not taking that one fight at 168 pounds, and you going in there fighting Canelo.
Yeah.
I think the weight is going to be too much for him.
And I think the thing you got to remember is that Bud Crawford couldn't even count because he said it was like 22 pounds or something. But you know something I want to talk about? This is a little side note. Forgive me, y'all. We got to talk about this. Did you get a chance to see Larry Alder on there with Charlemagne, the guy on the Breakfast Club?
No, I
You
didn't
know,
even see it. I heard about it. I didn't see it.
um, you know the funny thing about it is when you see somebody come on there and they're talking about some of the issues that our community is facing, and to hear Charlemagne hit you with these left wing garbage talking points, it just really made me lose all respect for him, man. Because I'm telling you, it's too many. It's not enough real men in media, man. And I tell you that. What do you think? You think it's an attack on the real men now?
I think y'all you gotta understand what Charlemagne is. Charlemagne is the type of dude to when he see you got a flaw, he like to pick at it. He like to just keep picking at it, keep picking at it. And that's why he always end up getting called out. He's always getting stepped to because a real dude ain't playing those type of games.
Yeah.
They're gonna step to him. So I don't pay too much attention to Charlemagne because I know what type of dude he is. I don't really pay too much attention. What's going on, Crush?
Crush the legend. Hey, Crush is scared of me, man. Crush never wanted to debate me. Crush is scared of me, man. He be on there screaming, man, like Hulk Hogan, but he's scared of me in the debate, man. So salute to you, Crush. We know you're scared of me, man. You don't never want to debate me.
BBO is the one guy that always talking about everybody's scared.
Hey, I feel like my brother Tina Lopez,
You're
man.
right. You sound like T.O. talking about everybody scared of you, but when they step up, your ass ain't nowhere to be found.
Here we go. No, Crush ain't got the nuts to step to me to no debate, bro. You know that. You know that. Crush ain't got the nuts to do that. But hey, all I can tell you is, man, Crush is not that guy. He's not gonna step to me, man.
All right. You don't know. You don't know about Crush. Crush step to anybody. That that
Uh,
that dude right there. That Crush is a real Philly dude for real.
yeah,
He's the true meaning of a Philly dude.
like I said, Crush know a little bit about boxing, but we on a different level. We talking about having boxing talk. That's not something Crush even want to do. He know that. Tell him in the chat, Crush, that you know better than that. So he Crush know better than that. Hey, but that being said, man, I just didn't like how Charlemagne was in there, and then they had some lady come on there yelling at Larry Alder, and it's like, why when somebody come in talking sense, why you want to attack somebody who's talking sense? I don't understand that.
Look what your man Crush said.
Hey, Crush, you scared of me, man. Crush, you scared of me. This is Crush. You scared of me, man. I wish you was here. This I'll do you just like they did your boy.
Fuck
Cause he's
Fred,
talking too crazy, man.
fuck Howard, and fuck all of them.
You know, I said that all jokes aside, I'm just saying, man, I thought what Charlemagne did was just deplorable, man, to sit in there and like create these red herrings and not understand that we got a real issue in the Black and Spanish community with crime against each other, man. You think you as a former officer, man, what do you think the biggest issue we facing as a community, man?
Hate. That's the biggest issue. Everybody's
Hey,
all everybody's always hating on each other. I mean, nobody wanna just give your man the proper respect and give your man the proper due. It's like if they see somebody doing better than them, they gotta hate on them, or they gotta try to rob them. They gotta do this. Nobody could say, okay, that man doing his thing. I like to see that. We don't have that in our community. All the other nationalities does it. They respect their fellow man, and they give them their props. When it comes to us, we always gotta hate on each other. Always.
you know what's funny, man? I was looking, back in the past, and they had some former greats, hip hop greats on there. And I didn't even realize that the only person that really died violently from like your time, when you was a kid, not no, well, not your time, but when you was a kid growing up with Scholar Rock. Like I never realized in the '80s nobody was dying. I never
And
realized that. But
Crush is definitely a person you want to talk to because that's Crush specialty, hip hop.
yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm just wondering, is it the music? What is it, man? Because what we dealing with in our community, man, I swear it's getting worse, man.
We're dealing with a lot of guys. Oh, well, it really came from when the government put out this no beating your kids. Because when I was a child, I got beat by anybody that saw me messing up in the neighborhood. Any one of my neighbors saw me messing up, they had the right to put that motherfucker switch to my ass. But nowadays, you can't sit there and put your hands on a kid. And that's why we have so many kids out here that don't respect their elders, don't respect their own parents. They don't respect nobody, and that's the main reason. That's where a lot of that stuff came from. Because if you look at the kids back in the days, like when I was coming up, when K Savoy, when Crush was coming up, we always respect our elders. We,
Right.
we, elders say something to you, you shut up and you listen. You ain't none of that talk back, ain't none of that jumping like you going to try to beat their ass. None of that. You respect it. But
Yeah.
nowadays we don't have that because of the government did when they said you can't put your hands on your child no more.
I think I think I think the thing that's getting me is this. At what point will we come together as a community and say, you know what, we got to be more open minded because what we thinking is working is not working. I mean, I was reading this thing that Dr. King had. It was like an op-ed that he posted in the New York Times in 1966, and he said he felt as if he led black people into a burning house, and he said that because you're able to go to these different things, but with no economic floor, how can you expect to get real dignity? And my aunt also said something that always hit me and stayed with me is that dollars bring dignity. And I'm wondering, is it because people are growing up without? Is that why you're getting so much hate and strife in our community where you got people who want to kill people over nothing? Is that where that's coming from?
Yeah, it's coming from that. Some of it is coming from that. Some of it's coming from that because you got a lot of people that's doing bad, and they might have been your next door neighbor at one point in time, and all of a sudden you did things the right way, and you making some leeway in life, and they feel like, okay, how is he doing that? And we came from the same projects, and we come from the same hood, and he's making all this money. He's buying his family nice things and stuff like that, and they start hating, and then they get jealous, and they want what you got. because a lot of people are too lazy to go out there and work and do the stuff for themselves. They want a handout, and when somebody else actually work hard for their stuff and make a leeway in life, the next man that's too lazy to go out there and work, they get jealous and they want to take what you work for.
And I think to piggyback off what you're saying, it's just sad because I don't. I'll be honest with you. For a long time, I grew up, inner city. I don't call myself African American because I don't believe we from Africa. I believe we're Americans first. So I call myself a Black American or a Black person. Growing up as a Black person, inner city, I felt like, the only way I ever heard about politics was like Democrats this and Democrats that. But it's funny how when you actually dig into it, you find out more and more that a lot of the things that we grew up hearing is not true because they're not for us, man. And when I say they're not for us, me and you are family men. And when you think about how they, you got the whole brand new Black Lives Matter movement where those ladies are not family women. These are, women who live an alternative lifestyle trying to say they stand up for us. I think that's crazy. What do you think about that?
No, I mean it's a lot of. I mean when you look at the politicians and the government, they prey on the inner city, and they prey on the fear of the people that people have in the inner city. So when they see a big problem. That's why you always see the news is always putting murders up there. They're always putting robberies up there. That's the biggest thing that they put up there. They put stuff that scare the people because they want the people to feel trapped. They want the people to feel trapped and be scared. That's why I haven't watched the news in over 25 years. I haven't watched the news because all they
Seriously?
do. Seriously, I haven't watched the news in over 25 years because all they do is put up fear, fear, fear. That's all they put up. They put up fear. You, how many times have you heard something that went on in your city that was for the good? And how many times have you seen the news out there? Almost never.
Very, very, very rare for sure.
Exactly. They not there to show the good things that goes on in the hood. They only put out the bad things that go in the hood. So that's why I don't watch the news. If I turn on the news is to find out what the weather is. And now I mean you ain't got to do that because you got an iPhone or a smartphone. You can look on your phone and find out what the weather is.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking to that point that you just made, now I'm in the Cleveland, Akron area, and LeBron is from this area. And
Hmm.
LeBron, unlike most, he took his money and he gave to the children and invested into the children. And what gets me? So the school that he is partnered with the city, these kids didn't pass their testing. And they've been just lambasting LeBron, talking about how LeBron is this and LeBron is that. And it's funny because LeBron just announced that he's not going to continue his investment into the school after the contract is up. Why do you think why are they trying to jump on LeBron when he's trying to make a change? What is that about?
I mean LeBron I mean LeBron is a black celebrity that a lot of people know, a lot of people like.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, regardless of how you feel about LeBron, whether you like him or you hate him, LeBron is a powerful man in black culture because LeBron is something that a lot of kids look up to. A lot of young black kids look up to LeBron. That's their modern day Michael Jordan. That's all they talk about LeBron. They talk about LeBron. They talk about Steph Curry. They talking about Giannis. That's all they talking about. And you might hear KD every once in a while. So LeBron is somebody that a lot of the youth is looking up to, and if they could find a way to tear him down, they're going to do it. They're going to show you that you can't be but so powerful as a black man. You can't be but so powerful. So they're going to try to tear him down any chance they get. That's with anybody. You look at any of the black celebrities that you thought was the man or had a lot of power behind him. At some point, the government showed that they can break them down.
Yeah, yeah, that's a terrific point. I think on a deeper level, D free, I'm just trying to figure out what can our people do to get a better direction, because no matter where they look, they kind of getting taken advantage of on every hand, whether it's, predatory lending in the inner city. People don't talk about that. Like, rent a center errands. People always want what they can't have, and they constantly get what they can't have and afford dangling in front of them. How in the world can they overcome that?
I
What do you
mean,
think?
only way they can overcome it is if they want to overcome it. I mean, you gotta reach one person at a time, because you can't reach the whole community as a group, because all it takes is for one bad apple to spoil the bunch. So you got to reach them one at a time. You bring somebody in, and you talk to them, and you mentor them, and then once you get him on the right path, you grab his next closest friend and do the same thing with him, and move and forward, so on and so on. You got to do it one person at a time, because if you try to do a whole group, they're not gonna pay attention, because like I said, it's gonna be somebody in the group that's gonna say something, and try to put you down, or say you don't know what you're talking about, and then next thing you know, the whole group is gonna be going at you. So you just got to reach one at a time.
I'll say this, man. I just when I see, and I really would suggest, when you get an opportunity, to watch that interview, man, because I think the alarming thing was that there are a lot of guys that are beta males. That's what I would say. That's a cleaner way to put it. That are beta males that don't think for themselves, and I'm telling you, it's an epidemic for our communities, man. Like, just to hear Charlemagne, not even know what he was talking about. And you know what's funny? I'll tell you something that really got me. So the lady was attacking the guy, the great Barry Alder, for whatever reason. She didn't like what he said, so she was attacking him, right? And you know what Charlemagne said? He said, "Oh, you're not used to talking to black women, are you, Larry?" And you know what Larry said? Wow. And it's funny because it's almost like some of these beta males want to use their woman as like the attack dog. Like, oh, I can't stand in front of you, but I bet she can. Is that just
Right.
me saying that? But I think that's disgusting, man. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I mean, they try to, if they can't get at you, they try to find another way to get at you, and so they try to belittle you at any cost. I mean, whether it's using a female, or using another man, or using your children, they find some way to try to get at you, and try to ruffle your feathers. That's what they do. Just like the trolls on the internet. Like the trolls on the internet, they try to say something to ruffle your feathers, to get you off your game. But I mean, from what I hear, how you talking about the interview, it sounded like the dude kept his cool, and he just looked at Charlamagne as a clown.
It was just, I'm telling you, D3, it was funny because I didn't know this. Did you know that? And I looked this up. This is all in the Wall Street Journal for 2022. From 2000, it was April 2022. Do you know that 60% of all black children that are being born in this country are being born to a single mother? Can you believe that? 60%,
Yeah,
more than half.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I never thought of that. That's an alarming number, man.
yeah.
And and
I,
and,
I,
and
I, I, I mean, I'm in DC, and we have a lot of single mothers out here. A lot of them. We got a lot of dudes that just go out here and lay with these women, and when the woman gets pregnant, they out the door. They ain't trying to deal with that child. It takes a real man to be a father. Anybody can be a. I mean, well, it takes a real man to be a dad. Anybody can be a father.
yeah. And speaking to that point, man, do you know that a kid that grows up in a two-parent household is 50% less likely to go to jail and 70% less likely to be in poverty? I think it's just crazy because I didn't even notice until I read more about it. Do you know from 1910 to 1960, blacks went from being 64% of us being under the poverty line to only 40%, 47%. So you're talking about in 20 years, there was a 20% drop in poverty. And think about that. That's been the best 20 years that blacks have seen since they've been in this country.
Hmm.
Is that not alarming to you?
Yeah, it's very alarming, because it shows what can be changed, and it's just a matter of, do you want to change it?
I just look at this man, and I'm telling you, man, just for me as a youngster coming up, I did not realize it was such an epidemic on like fatherlessness, man. I think the father is probably the most underrated piece in our society, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it. A father is somebody that a lot of kids wish they had. Now, whether a child admits it or not, if you pull one of the young guys off the street that doesn't have a father, but they got a mother in the household, they don't have a father, and you talk to them, I guarantee you, the main cause of all of the stuff that he go through is because his father wasn't there. A lot of the young men in our community wish they had a father. That's why they take to the streets, because the streets, their father, their father and mother. That's why a lot of them joins a gang, because they don't have a father and mother in the household. So they join the gang because they're looking for somebody to accept them and somebody to show them what they need to do. Because a mother can only teach a man but so much. A man is the only one that can teach a man how to be a man. A woman can't teach a man how to be a man. She could tell him what he need to do, but she can't show him because she's not a man.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I'm just trying to figure out how come. Why does it seem like there's just an overwhelming, like I don't know if you feel this shift where it's almost like the black movement or the Spanish movement is being overtaken by these outside entities, man, trying to make it seem like they're the victims, and it's really us. It's really us, man. I mean, people don't want to talk about this, but the fact that we don't have our border secure only hurts poor black and Spanish people. I don't think they understand that. Like when you let those people come over come over from Mexico, Ecuador, whatever the case may be, undocumented, that only hurts the inner city, man. That doesn't hurt anybody else. And I just think it's a travesty, bro. I just think it's a travesty. And I can say this: the older I get, man, the more conservative I become, and the more I really just want to see my family and my people have a better life. Do you feel that same way?
Um, it'll work if you work hard at it. I mean, the only people that can control your family and your household is you and your family. I mean, the government is going to do what the government is going to do. You can't nobody stop that. But you controls what goes on in your house. So as long as you doing what you're supposed to do, your wife is doing what she's supposed to do, y'all
Yeah.
will be straight. Y'all will be straight.
I'm just more or less saying like it's just kind of funny how like when you look over the landscape, man, you got so many people angry, and there's no meeting in the middle of what we can come together on. What you think? Let me ask you this: do you think we still feel the repercussions of what the drug epidemic did to us in the '80s and early '90s?
Um, yeah. I mean, but I mean that was part of the plan. That's what the government wanted to do. It just it didn't go the way the government wanted to go because some of the white people started doing it. So it got a little bit out of control. They didn't know it was going to get that out of control. So it kind of backfired on the government a little bit because a lot of the whites got caught up with that as well. So I mean, but that's a big part of what their plan was. They were trying to get rid of the blacks, and the only way they can get rid of the blacks is introduce drugs into the community.
And you know what's funny, man? One thing I'm learning in general, man, is just like I'm trying to get healthier, man, get back in shape. It's kind of funny how we don't even realize that the food that we get in the inner city is bad. The music, I just think it's so many things that's working against us, man. I just don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know where we could start as far as rebuilding the community, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, all you can do is control what you have control over. If you ain't got no control over it, then I mean, it ain't really too much you can do about it. You just gotta push forward. I mean, your mother and father, they went through it, and they found a way to get through it and make the best for your life or whatever. With
Yeah.
being though the issues that they had and the cards that they was dealt, they was able to do it. So you gotta do the same thing. Whatever the cards you dealt with, you gotta play them and hope you get 21.
Hey, it's your boy. It's your boy BBO. Hey, shout out your Instagram, D Free. What's your Instagram?
Huh?
Somebody asked your Instagram in the chat. What's your Instagram or Twitter?
My Instagram,
Yeah.
Dwayne Freeman underscore. I mean Dwayne underscore Freeman 45.
Okay. The one of the somebody in the chat asked for that. But I'll say that I'll say this, man. We're gonna be back with more boxing talk. Of course, me and D Free definitely got to talk about these current issues, man, because we both fathers and we both want to see, our people be safe and be good. But don't forget this: before you leave, before you guys leave, smash the like button and remember that D Free said that Oscar didn't beat Sweet Pea. So if you ever want to know why people say D Free don't have any credibility. It's not because he's not a good man. He's a great man, but he still does not give Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, his
and
props.
and, 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 let people know, that you are a T.O. #1 fan.
Hey, hey, you keep talking crazy. When he stopped one of them Russells, man, I don't want you crying in tears, man. I don't
Man,
want
Gary, Antoine, Mr. Gary, any one of my cousins will sleep you. You can go ahead and ask for one of the Garys. I guarantee you my cousin will definitely oblige you.
I'm talking about for Tio, not for me. I don't want to go to bed.
Oh, T.O. don't want Antoine. T.O. definitely don't want Antoine.
I say you stop him in 3, man.
Yeah, you saw what Antoine did last Saturday. I mean,
Yeah.
2 Saturdays ago. You saw what Antoine did. Easy work.
Hey, until next time, it's your boy, the Roll with the Punches podcast, episode 9. Here we go.
All right.